I never thought I'd say it, but I was disappointed by Michael Keaton's Batman in The Flash. When I walked out The Flash, I was very positive on the film, but sadly the more I think about it, the worse it becomes. Now let me make it clear, I didn't hate or dislike Keaton's Batman in The Flash. How can I? It's one of my favourite characters of all time, one of my favourite performances of all time. To an extent, I did enjoy seeing him, and I got a kick out of it. However, his involvement could have been so much better. And that's kind of my opinion about the Flash movie and DCEU in general. Could have been so much better. First off, they introduce him looking stupid. He looks like an idiot, simple as that. That look does not fit Keaton and makes the whole thing feel very fake, and he looks like an actor done up to look like a reclusive hermit. Doesn't feel genuine. And of course I had horrible flashbacks to Mark Hamill's Luke Skywalker in Last Jedi. Has Hollywood not learned that we don't want to see our beloved heroes reduced to cynical and grumpy wasters? Nobody wants to see that, especially with the coolest Batman there's ever been. Look, I understand he'd probably have to be retired, but this whole thing felt like a parody and was played way too comedically. The first time I see Keaton's Bruce Wayne again after so many years, and he looks like a donut. That left such a bad taste in my mouth from that moment on. I knew I wasn't getting what I was hoping for. The next issue I had is he barely has a character. Now people have said that he's not the main character, so of course if he has a side role he didn't need much. However, my response is that he's the most beloved and well-known Batman of all time, coming back after decades. No matter what film he was in, we were going to expect a lot. You can't have your cake and eat it. You can't say, look, the greatest Batman ever is back, so go and see the film because of him. But actually he's not going to do much in it because it's the Flash's film. That's not how this works. You can't just advertise the film as Michael Keaton is back as Batman and then he doesn't barely do anything. If you can't make the Flash interesting and you have to dig up an old Batman just to get people invested, that's a huge concern. He just goes from I'm a miserable recluse to I'll help the Flash just because I'm bored. I've got nothing else to do. There's no emotional journey whatsoever for this Batman, and I thought there would be. How the Flash kind of melts his heart again, telling him he's doing this for his mother. But it was just a brief conversation. Like, it almost felt like they didn't want to have any character moments for this Batman. We had waited decades to have some kind of story for him. And the writing was really bad, because he's just barely doing or saying anything. Michael Keaton barely got a chance to act. How many scenes did he even have? Is it 2, 3 at the most? Such a huge character deserves so much more. You could have done so much more. He didn't need to dominate the film. It could have still been the Flash's film. But you could have wrote him so much better. This feels like it was written by someone who hadn't even seen Batman 1989 or watched it in the background or something like that, just didn't pay attention and just went, yeah, we'll have him back. He looks great in the suit, of course, and he looks like a spectacle, but I couldn't shake the feeling he was used as a gimmick. And I felt myself sat there going, this is the only time we're ever going to see Keaton's Batman back, and this is what we're doing. A few scenes in a movie that's not even his, in a DC universe that's a complete mess. I honestly feel like what the DCEU does is they just write something down on a paper they think would look cool or be cool, and then they just write some bullshit as much as they can to crowbar stuff around, and they don't care how it turns out as long as that cool thing that they wrote down remains in it, even if it doesn't make sense. Having him fight in a CGI frenzy like he was 20 years old also made no sense. I would have much preferred they actually shot some slower fight scenes that were in a more brawling style. Embrace his age, don't ignore it. In fact, that could have been part of his character. Can he still pull this off? Does the grizzled veteran have what it takes? Hell, do a Batman Beyond movie. They were talking about doing that. Why is your only desire of Michael Keaton to just have him appear slightly to boost a film? Why wouldn't you do a Batman Beyond movie? Why wouldn't you? If he said yes to coming back as Batman, why would you blow this opportunity? Instead it was, I don't really fancy joining you guys. And then like a light switch in his head. Nah, I'll join. I could do with a laugh. And now he's fighting with more speed and effectiveness than the 1990s Jean-Claude Van Damme. It was so frustrating, it made no sense, it was so rushed. I enjoyed seeing it, but the little voice inside kept on nagging at me, saying, you know what Jim, this really isn't right, could be 1,000 times better, and you know it son. The movie is fine, it's okay, it's fun, but it's nowhere near one of the best superhero movies, and I dare say there's better DCEU movies. Nothing felt earned in The Flash. It suffers from the exact issues the DCEU always has. It's rushed, it's awkward, it's overcomplicated, it's badly written, it doesn't stand up to scrutiny. And there's no time for anything to breathe and really make an impact. It really is a shining example of how much of a mess the DCU is, when Michael Keaton's Batman isn't even enough to save a film from being disappointing. What a shame. It's over to you, movie buffs. What do you think? I know I'm being negative here, but I came out full of joy, full of elation, and just the thoughts kicked in of, actually, no, I need more than just enjoying seeing something. It's all surface level at the moment with DC. I'm ready for the new era of the DCEU, but James Gunn doesn't seem like he knows what he's doing either. He just seems like he's going to do exactly what Zack Snyder did, which is just adapt his favourite comics and skip over everything else, and then everything will feel disjointed and rushed again. But that's a story for another time. What did you guys think of The Flash? What do you think of Michael Keaton in The Flash? Please subscribe to this channel as always. I will see you guys next time.